Welcome back, Kiss Army, to another episode of We Are One.
Here I am, and here you are. Welcome to the Psycho Circus, and welcome to the show for another episode of We Are One, where we have another day to shout it out loud. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Vinnie Vincent and how he helped Greg Bissonette land the David Lee Roth job. We're going to be taking a look at an article from Ultimate Classic Rock. So, Vinnie Vincent, ever since his comeback, there has been a lot more news and stories surfacing on them. So we're going to be taking a look at a piece from David Lifton over at UCR. Greg Bissonette told Rolling Stone he was actually auditioning for a spot in the Vinnie Vincent invasion, unaware that Vincent had already decided on Bobby Rock. Quote, "Afterwards he said to me, I already have a drummer, but I really enjoy jamming with you. You'd be great for Dave Roth." I go, "Dave Roth, isn't he in Van Halen?" He goes, "Not anymore, he left Van Halen. He got Billy Sheehan from Talus on bass and Steve Vai on guitar. They are looking for a drummer. I think you'd be great. Call Steve Vai." According to Guitar World, Roth had been working with Vai's drummer Chris Frazier but decided against giving him the full-time gig. So auditions were set up at Hollywood's SIR Studios with, as Bissonette remembered, this, quote, "huge line just down the block," unquote, of musicians. Bissonette recalled seeing future Guns N' Roses drummer Matt Sorum leaving the auditions. He realized the job wasn't for him because it required playing with two bass drums. Continuing on, he says, "So I walked in the room and it's Steve and Billy in this funky old drum set," Bissonette said. "After playing a solo, they jammed to a guitar part Vi had written. This piece would end up being a hot dog and a shake. Steve wanted me to hit these breaks with him, and Billy, and during all that, he would solo. So as Steve was talking, I reached into my backpack and took out a Sharpie. I brought my own snare and I started writing out these figures on the snare head. And Steve goes, 'Whoa, you can read music and write? This is amazing.'" Vi had called him a day later saying the next step was playing for Roth. That was followed by a third audition in front of producer Ted Templeman. They were particularly impressed with Bissonette's jazz background, which would come in handy with the new direction Roth was taking in his choice of cover songs. Quote, "The first thing we did when we got to the gig was go into Dave's cool car and we drove to get some Mexican food. He put on a cassette of Frank Sinatra's That's Life and he said, 'You played with Maynard Ferguson's band? I'm sure you can handle this.' I went, quote, 'Wow, Sinatra's That's Life?' It was a big band with horns, and he said we were going to record it on the album." According to Dave Snowden, who was running Vincent's fan club, Roth and Bissonette later showed up at Vinnie Vincent's house with a Platinum Award for Eat 'em and Smile. They presented it to the guitarist as a thanks for hooking him up. So just a really cool story about Vinnie Vincent helping out and his strange connection with Greg Bissonette and David Lee Roth. I did not know that Vinnie ended up getting a Platinum Award for Eat 'em and Smile, and I highly doubt he still has that, but if he did, it would be cool to see. But nevertheless, a cool story about Vinnie Vincent, and an actually helpful story for a change, considering you normally hear negative things about Vinnie, but this one seemingly very cool. That wraps things up for me here in this episode of We Are One. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Talk to me, and remember, God gave rock and roll to you, and God bless you.